Inside a local civic center, there are rows of tables with large advertisements behind each table. The space is filled with people walking around, visiting the people standing behind each table. Exhibit 17. 1. Credit. Public Information Office /Flickr /Attribution 2. Generic CC by 20. Learning Outcomes. After reading this chapter, you should be able to answer these questions. How can you enhance your interpersonal skills? Why is learning to plan so important in school and in the real world? What skills should you develop in school that can transfer easily to your professional life and make it a success? What are some strategies that will help you find, keep, and advance in your dream job? What key attributes do employers look for when interviewing job candidates? You are a winner because you elected to go to college. Never quit until you have your degree in hand. What makes someone a winner in life? A winner is someone who goes through the various stages of life satisfied in knowing that they have done their best. They're best at work, home, and in all pursuits of life. A big part of having a happy life is pursuing a career that offers job satisfaction and financial rewards. If you are going to be all that you can be, you need a good education. A college degree unlocks doors to economic opportunity. Why get a degree? Get and keep a better job. Because the world is changing rapidly and many jobs rely on new technology, more jobs require education beyond high school. With a college education, you will have more jobs from which to choose. Earn more money. People who go to college usually earn more than those who do not. Currently, a bachelor's degree is worth a minimum of $20,000 a year more than a high school diploma. If your career spans 45 years, you could earn close to $1 million more than a high school graduate. Get a good start in life. A business college education helps you acquire a wide range of knowledge in many subjects as well as an advanced understanding of your specialized area of business. College also trains you to express your thoughts clearly in speech and in writing and to make informed decisions. Simply stated, a degree in business gives you the chance to achieve the quality of life you deserve. The lifestyle, the new friends, the purchasing power of a degree won't guarantee happiness but will put you well on the road to finding it. You might want to pursue a career as a physician, florist, game warden, systems analyst, or any of 1,000 other opportunities. One thing that all careers have in common is that you need to have a basic understanding of business. We hope that you will consider a career in business, but if not, your success in whatever you choose will partially depend on your basic business skills. And that is why this text is so important. A park ranger wearing an official uniform and badge sits at a picnic table outside. Exhibit 17. 2. Finding one's dream job requires combing through job descriptions, researching salary information, taking career assessment tests, and shadowing others in the workplace. But sometimes people need some career advice or mentorship to pivot to a new career or to fine-tune their current job skills. That's where Pivot Planet comes in. The company connects people around the world for a reasonable fee with advisors who offer one-on-one video and phone sessions to answer questions and provide insights about their particular profession. How can this type of advice and mentorship help individuals longing to change their career paths? Credit: U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Southeast Region Flickr /Attribution 2 Generic CC by 2. 0. Choose a career. Because this introductory business course gives you a detailed overview of all of the areas of commerce, it will guide you in selecting a major should you elect to get a degree in business. Choosing a major in college is one of life's true milestones. Your major essentially determines how you will spend the next 4 decades of your life. A marketing major will find a career in sales, marketing research, advertising, or other marketing-related fields. An accounting major will become, you guessed it, an accountant. Never take selecting a major lightly. If you work 40 hours a week for the next 45 years, less vacations, you will put in about 90,000 hours on the job. Don't you think you should choose something that you will enjoy? A degree in business is going to offer you many great career opportunities. Once you take your first job, how rapidly you move up the ladder is up to you. People with great interpersonal skills will always do better on and off the job than those who lack them. It has been estimated that up to 90% of our workplace success depends on an understanding of other people. Here's how to enhance your interpersonal skills. Build your people skills. Learn to build alliances in a group and establish harmony. Make a concerted effort to know what is happening in the lives of those on your team at school and work. About once a month, get together with your group and pass out a list of issues, concerns, fears, and potential problems. Then invite everyone to give input to solve little problems before the problems become big. If something goes wrong, try to find out where things are not running smoothly and improve them. Be sure to compliment someone in your group who is doing an exceptional job. Become a good listener. When you listen well, you are in effect telling the other person that they are worth listening to. Listening well includes listening to both what is said and what is not said. Learn to read unspoken gestures and expressions. When giving feedback, plan what you will say in advance. Be positive and specific. Ask the person receiving the feedback if they would like to discuss your comments further. Understand how to persuade others. Remember, we all must sell ourselves and our ideas to get ahead in life and in business. Influencing others means overcoming objections, igniting passions, or changing minds. The first step is to build esprit de corps, a shared enthusiasm and devotion to the group. Make your vision their vision so that everyone is working toward a common goal. Praise the team as a whole, but recognize the unique contributions different team members have made. The trick is to praise everyone, but for different reasons. When you and your team successfully solve a problem, change will result. Persuasion rests on trust. You can build trust by being honest, fulfilling your commitments, being concerned about others, and minimizing problems and pain for others whenever possible. In short, if you have integrity, building trust becomes a simple task. When people raise objections to your plans or ideas, try to fully understand their comments and the motivation for making them. When you feel that you understand the true objection, answer the objection in the form of a benefit. Yes, you will need to work next Saturday, but then you can have compensatory time off any time you wish next month. Determine your persuasion skills by taking the quiz in Table 17. 1. Learn to think on your feet. Top executives say that thinking and speaking well on your feet while under pressure is the best thing that you can do for your career. If you cannot quickly express yourself with confidence, others will lose confidence in you. 2. Fun self-test. Can you persuade others? Rate your level of agreement with the statements below using the following scale. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree, nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. I prefer to work in a team rather than individually. I enjoy motivating others to help accomplish objectives. I avoid working with difficult people or trying to resolve group differences. I can learn more working in a team rather than working by myself. I would prefer to work with individuals I have known previously. I give up if my team members do not agree with me. I may not always convince my team members to agree with my opinions, but I will go ahead and do what I feel is correct. I think people who can persuade others always possess sound judgment. I will do the work myself if others do not agree to do it. To get the work done, I will listen to a person to understand how they want it to be done. I can get people to voluntarily make commitments and get the work done. 3. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17. 1. It will not happen overnight, but you can become an outstanding thinker and speaker. A simple technique is to set a timer for 2 minutes and ask a friend to begin speaking. When the timer goes off, your friend stops speaking and you begin talking. The challenge is to use the final thought that your friend spoke as the first word of your 2-minute talk. Another technique is to have someone supply you with a series of quotes. Then, without hesitation, give your interpretation. Empower yourself. No matter who you are, what position you will hold, or where you will work, you probably will have to report to somebody. If you are fortunate enough to work in a culture of empowerment, you are allowed control over your job, not complete control, but enough control to make you feel your opinion matters. When you are not given an opportunity to provide input, you will eventually lose interest in your job. When empowered, you have the confidence to do something to alter your circumstances. On the job, empowerment means that you can make decisions to benefit the organization and its customers. If you want to gain empowerment in your life and work, here are a few tips. Be assertive, ask for credit for yourself when it is due. Propose ideas to your group and your supervisor, initiate projects without being asked. Tie your personal goals to those of the organization. Develop your leadership skills. Plan to learn on a continuous basis. Be informed. Don't let others intimidate you, and don't complain about a bad situation. Instead, take action to improve it. Become politically savvy. Politics is an inevitable part of every organization in the United States, including your school. Politics has always been a part of the workplace and always will be. The trick is to learn to play the political game to your own advantage and to the advantage of others without causing harm to anyone else. Being political means getting along with others in order to move them toward accomplishing a specific goal. It does not mean maneuvering for selfish purposes, manipulating in order to deceive, or scheming so others lose while you win. Here are some tips and techniques to be an effective player in the political game. Think about what you say. Understand the effect your words will have on others before you say or write them. Empathize. Try to think of a situation from the other person's perspective. Suggest a trial period if you meet opposition to an idea you're proposing. If you are as successful as you are confident, you can then ask to have the trial period extended. Learn about the political climate in which you are working. This means knowing, among other things, what actions have led to failure for others, knowing who is in and why, determining who is out and why, and learning what behaviors lead to promotion. Volunteer to do the jobs no one else wants to do. Occasionally pitching in shows your willingness to get the job done. However, do not make this your trademark. You do not want others to think they can take advantage of you. Work hard to meet the needs of those in authority. Make certain you fully understand management's requirements, then go out of your way to meet them. If in time you do not think you are getting the recognition or respect you deserve, make your own needs known. Give credit to others. You never know who may be in a position to hurt or harm you. Consequently, the best policy is to treat everyone with respect and dignity. Show your appreciation to everyone who has helped you. Do not steal credit that belongs to someone else. Learn your supervisor's preferences. The more you are in sync with your supervisor's style, wishes, and preferences, the better you can do your job. However, do not be a rubber stamp. Rather, work the way your manager works. When necessary, suggest better ways of doing things. Keep secrets your own and others. Resist the temptation to tell all. Not only do you run the risk of being labeled a gossip, but if you share too much about yourself, your words may come back to haunt you. If you are revealing information told to you in confidence, you are bound to lose the trust and respect of those who originally confided in you. Find out how well you play the political game by taking the quiz in Table 17. 2. Become a team builder. Throughout your college and business career, you will participate on teams. Most U.S. business organizations employ some sort of teamwork. An effective team is one that meets its goals on time and, if a budget is involved, within budget. The first step in creating an effective team is to have goals that are clear, realistic, and supported by each team member and that parallel the larger organization goals. Table 17(3) lists the questions that teams should answer to ensure their success. Fun self-test. Are you good at office politics? Answer yes or no to the following questions. To be successful, you should have a strong relationship with your boss and subordinates. Office politics is not very challenging. Tough people give you a tough time but also teach you tough lessons. Networking and observation play a major role in being good at office politics. There is no ethics or morals in office politics. Corporate politics is not about the individuals, it is about the survival of the corporation. Office politics is the only way you gain real access to your boss's ear. Those who avoid being political at work may not move forward in their careers, may find themselves resentful and frustrated, and run the risk of being isolated. If you do all of the work on a project, you won't tell the boss because you don't want your coworkers to get in trouble. When faced with gossip and rumors, you prefer to be silent but aware. To master office politics, you should seek a win-lose situation. If a person in authority is out to get rid of you, a good tactic would be to establish allies and position yourself for another job in the company. If you have made any significant contribution to a project, you always make sure that others know about it, which, in turn, adds to your reputation. 4. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17. 2. Key questions that teams should answer before starting a project. What are the goals? Who provides the mission statement? What are our limits? Where will support come from? Who will be our sponsor? Who will be team leader? How is that person selected? What are the deadlines we face? What resources are available? What data will we need to collect? For how long will our team exist? Who are the customers for our team results? What do they expect of us? Will our team responsibilities conflict with our regular jobs? What is the reward for success? How will decisions be made? How will our efforts be measured? Will our intended success be replicated? If so, how and by whom? 5. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17.3. Handle conflict well. The world is not a perfect place, and there are no perfect people living in it. The best we can hope for is people's willingness to improve life circumstances. If we are truly committed to the idea of reducing school and workplace conflict, there is much we can do to inspire such willingness in others. Bringing conflict into the open has its advantages. Talking about conflict often helps to clear the air, and thinking about the possibility of conflict often helps to avoid it. When conflicts occur, try the KIND technique. The letters stand for K equals kind, I equals informed, N equals new, D equals definite. The technique involves your requesting a meeting with the difficult person, whether they is having a conflict with you or with others. Start off with kind words, words that encourage cooperation, words that show your determination to make the conflict situation better. Next, demonstrate that you have taken the time to learn more about the person, what is important to them, what they prefers in terms of work. Show by your words that you have taken the time to become informed about the individual. The third step requires you to do something novel, something you have not tried before. Put your creativity to work and discover a plan to which you can both subscribe, for example, keeping a journal regarding the problem and possible solutions. Finally, do not permit the exchange to conclude until you have made a definite overture to ensure future success. What can you promise the other person you will do differently? What are you asking him or her to do differently? Set a time to meet again and review your individual attempts to achieve collective improvement. There is a natural conflict between planning and being impulsive, between pursuing a long-range goal and doing what you feel like doing right now. If you have ever had to study while the rest of the family was watching television, you know what that conflict feels like. If you have ever been invited to go eat pizza and hang out with friends but stayed home to work on a class assignment, you know that sticking to a plan is not easy. 6. Of course, planning and being impulsive are both good. They both have a place in your life. You need to balance them. Having a plan does not mean that you can't act on the spur of the moment and do something that was not planned. Spontaneous events produce some of the happiest, most meaningful times of your life. Problems arise when you consistently substitute impulsive actions for goal-oriented planning. Success in life requires a balance between the two. If you do not engage in long-range planning and lack the discipline for it, you may limit your opportunities to be impulsive. You are not going to take a weekend fun trip just because you need a break if you have not saved the money to do it. In the short run, planning involves sacrifice, but in the long run, it gives you more options. Graduates wearing cap and gown walk across a stage to receive their diplomas. Exhibit 17. 3. Life requires planning, and the more important one's goals, the more important planning is to achieve these goals. Whether the objective is to graduate from college, develop a professional career, or build a brighter future for one's family and community, personal success depends on a good plan. How can the 6 steps of the planning process help individuals achieve their educational, personal, and career dreams? Credit, Rodney Martin Flickr / attribution 2 generic CC by 2. 0. What is a plan? A plan is a method or process worked out in advance that leads to the achievement of some goal. A plan is systematic, which means it relies on using a step-by-step procedure. A plan also needs to be flexible so that it may be adapted to gradual changes in your goal. The planning process. Whether choosing a college or finding financial aid, you should understand how the planning process helps you accomplish your goals. The following steps outline the planning process. Step 1. Set a goal. Identify something you want to achieve or obtain, your goal. The goal, which is usually longer term in nature, will require planning, patience, and discipline to achieve. Just living in the present moment is not a goal. Step 2. Acquire knowledge. Gain an understanding of your goal and what will be required to achieve it. Gather information about your goal through research, conversation, and thought. Step 3. Compare alternatives. Weigh your options, which are the different paths you might take to achieve your goal. Analyze the pluses and minuses of each, the costs, the demands, the likelihood of success. Step 4. Choose a strategy. Select one option as the best plan of action. The choice is based on sound information, the experience of others, and your own interests and abilities. Step 5. Make a commitment. Resolve to proceed step by step toward achieving your goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. Step 6. Stay flexible. Evaluate your progress and, when necessary, revise your plan to deal with changing circumstances and new opportunities. Example of planning. The following example illustrates the process of buying a new pair of wireless headphones using this planning process. Step 1. Set a goal. Purchase a pair of wireless headphones. Step 2. Acquire knowledge. Ask friends if you can try out their headphones. Study standards and specifications. Check on retailers, brands, models, and prices. Consult consumer reports. Step 3. Compare alternatives. Alternative 1. Purchase a pair of headphones from an online auction website such as eBay. Pro. Affordable high-end equipment. Can buy right now. Con. Uncertain condition of equipment. Limited warranty. Alternative 2. Buy wireless headphones for $110. Pro. Can afford now. New equipment with warranty. Con. Not the best sound quality. Alternative 3. Buy a high-quality pair of headphones for $500. Pro. Excellent sound. New equipment with warranty. Con. Costs more than prepared to pay now. Step 4. Choose a strategy. Decide to buy the high-quality headphones, but rather than using a credit card and paying interest, will delay the purchase for 6 months in order to save for them. Step 5. Make a commitment. Give up going to the movies or buying coffee drinks from Starbucks for the 6-month period. Carry a lunch and stop eating out, and place the savings in a designated headphones fund. Step 6. Stay flexible. 4 months into the plan, a model change sale provides an opportunity to buy comparable equipment for $300. Make the purchase, paying cash. Planning for your life. Using the planning process to make a buying decision is a simple exercise. Making a decision about major parts of your life is far more complex. You will see that no part of life is exempt from the need for planning. It is important to apply thought, creativity, and discipline to all the interrelated phases of our lives. These phases include the following: career. Choosing a field of work and developing the knowledge and skills needed to enter and move ahead in that field. We will offer you some tips to get started on a great career later in this chapter. Self. Deciding who you are and what kind of person you want to be, working to develop your strengths and overcome your weaknesses, refining your values. Lifestyle. Expressing yourself in the nature and quality of your everyday life, your recreation and hobbies, how you use your time and money. Relationships. Developing friendships and learning to get along with people in a variety of contexts. Building family and community ties. Finances. Building the financial resources and the economic security needed to pursue all the other dimensions of your life. Dreams and plans. People are natural dreamers. Dreams give us pleasure. They are also part of making a future. If you do not have dreams or think that you are not worthy of dreaming, something very important may be missing from your life. You have a right to your dreams and you need them, even if there is little possibility that they will ever come true. Planning is not the same as dreaming, but it uses dreams as raw materials. It translates them into specific goals. It tests them. It lays out a course of action that moves you toward realizing these goals and sets up milestones you need to achieve. Planning brings dreams down to earth and turns them into something real and attainable. For example, assume you have a dream to visit Spain as an exchange student. To translate this dream into a specific goal, you will need to follow the planning process, gather information about the exchange process, discuss the program with parents and teachers, and improve your Spanish language skills. Directions for your life. One of the best things about pursuing our dreams is that, even when you fall short, the effort leads to growth and opens a path to other opportunities. The person who practices the piano every day may not achieve the dream of becoming a concert pianist, but may eventually put appreciation of music to work as the director of an arts organization. A basketball player may not make it to a professional team, but may enjoy a satisfying career as a coach or a sports writer. Without a plan, dreams simply dissolve. With a plan, they give shape and direction to our lives. Planning involves a lot of thinking and finding answers to lots of questions. The answers and even the plan will change over time as you gain more knowledge and life experience. Planning is a skill that is useful in every area of your life. It is something you have to pursue consciously and thoughtfully. When you plan, you translate your goals and dreams into step-by-step strategies, specific things you can do to test your goals and bring them to reality. You often have to revise your plans, but even when your plans are not fulfilled, planning will have a positive effect on the course of your life. You have already had one of your dreams come true. You are in college. It is indeed a rare privilege because far less than 1% of traditional college-age people around the world get to attend college. You're lucky. So make the best of it by finishing your degree and learning the following college skills. 7. Learn to concentrate. Concentration is the art of being focused, the ability to pay attention. Without concentration, you have no memory of what you hear, see, and read. Concentration is a frame of mind that enables you to stay centered on the activity or work you are doing. You know when you're concentrating because time seems to go by quickly, distractions that normally take you off task don't bother you, and you have a lot of mental or physical energy for the task. You are ultimately in charge of how well you concentrate. Here are some ways to make it happen. Choose a workplace. Avoid the bed. You associate it with relaxing or sleeping. Try a desk or table for studying. You will concentrate better and accomplish more in less time. You will also have a convenient writing space and plenty of space to spread out. Be sure to have good lighting. Feed your body right. What you eat plays an important role in how well or how poorly you concentrate. Protein foods such as cheese, meat, fish, and vegetables keep the mind alert, while carbohydrates such as pasta, bread, and processed sugars make you sleepy. Caffeine, commonly found in coffee, tea, soft drinks, and chocolate, acts as a stimulant in low doses. Avoid food. Food and serious learning don't mix well. Think about it. When you try to eat and study at the same time, which gets more of your concentration? The food, of course. You will be more effective if you eat first and then study. Listen to your own thoughts. Listening to anything but your own thoughts interferes with good concentration. Eliminating distractions such as music, television, cell phones, email and text beeps, and other people can greatly increase the amount of studying you can accomplish. Hold all calls and let email and texts wait. Make a to-do list. If you are trying to study but get distracted by all of the things you need to do, take time to make a to-do list. Keeping track of your thoughts on paper and referring to the paper from time to time can be very effective for clearing your mind and focusing on your task. Take short, frequent breaks. Since people concentrate for about 20 minutes or less at a time, it would make sense to capitalize on your natural body rhythms and take a short break every 20 to 30 minutes. If you feel you are fully concentrating and involved in a task, then work until a natural break occurs. Learn to manage your time. There are 2 ways to make sure you have more time in a day. The first and most important way to gain more time is to plan it. It's like getting in a car and going somewhere. You need to know where you are going and have a plan to get there. Without a plan, you will waste your time and take longer to get to your destination, if you get there at all. A weekly project planner will allow you to keep track of your assignments in more detail. It contains a to-do list specific to one day. It looks like a calendar but is divided into 5 one-day periods with plenty of space to write. Using a weekly project planner is an effective way to keep track of assignments and plan study time according to the school calendar. Free calendars are available at https://calendar.google.com. A second way to gain more time in a day is to do more in less time. This can be as simple as doubling up on activities. For example, if you have 3 errands, you might try to combine them instead of doing one at a time, making 1 round trip instead of 3. If you commute on a bus, on a train, or in a carpool, you can study during your ride. At lunch, you can review notes. Use your imagination as to how you can get more done in less time. A photo shows a woman holding a phone close to her face as she text messages someone. Exhibit 17. 4 personal digital assistants, PDAs, have morphed into sophisticated mobile devices that now include phone, internet, email, messaging, and other wireless functions. Putting even more computing power at consumers' fingertips, mobile devices now provide users with personal information managers, to-do lists, calendars, and other functions to help us organize and manage our time. How might mobile devices help college students to accomplish more and make better use of their time when it comes to everyday activities and learning job skills? Credit, Riaz Kanani /Flickr/attribution 2. Generic CC by 20. Here are some ideas to help you master your time. Prepare for the morning the night before. Put out your clothes, make lunches, pack your books. Get up 15 minutes earlier in the morning. Use the time to plan your day, review your assignments, or catch up on the news. Schedule a realistic day. Avoid planning for every minute. Leave extra time in your day for getting to appointments and studying. Leave room in your day for the unexpected. This will allow you to do what you need to do, regardless of what happens. If the unexpected never happens, you will have more time for yourself. Do one thing at a time. If you try to do two things at once, you become inefficient. Concentrate on the here and now. Learn to say no. Say no to social activities or invitations when you don't have the time or energy. How well do you manage your time? Take the quiz in Table 17, 4 to find out. Use your money wisely. You can get college money from several different sources, including the following: grants and scholarships. This refers to aid you do not have to repay. Grants are usually based on need, while scholarships are frequently based on academic merit or other qualifying factors. Educational loans. These are usually subsidized by federal and state governments, private lenders, or the colleges themselves. Generally, the loans carry lower interest rates than commercial loans, and you do not have to pay them off until after graduation. Work aid. This is financial aid you have to work for, frequently 10 or 15 hours a week on campus. There are many ways to cut the cost of going to college. Consider these: going to a community college for the first 2 years and then transferring to a 4-year institution. Attending a nearby college and living at home. Enrolling in one of thousands of college and universities with cooperative educational programs that alternate between full-time studies and full-time employment. Taking a full-time job at a company that offers free educational opportunities as an employee benefit. Fun self-test: how well do you manage your time? Rate your level of agreement with the following statements using the scale below. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. I rarely feel driven by the urgencies that come my way. I keep a log of each activity to be performed in a day. I prioritize them accordingly. I prioritize not by the importance of the work but by its nature. I can manage my schedule without preparing a weekly plan that includes specific activities. I always want to do all the work myself, thinking I can do it better than anyone else. I plan my weekends with my family and friends. I can delegate work to people so that the work gets done on time and the people feel they are a part of the team. I allow time for the unexpected things I cannot control. If something doesn't happen as per my schedule, it doesn't get done. To accomplish a set of objectives doesn't mean to avoid other unexpected problems. I seldom work after office hours. I would never work by hand if a machine could do it faster. I feel it is easier and time-saving to try new ways of doing things. I always find time to do what I want to do and what I should do. 8. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17, 4. To learn about college costs and financial aid, one of the first sources to consult is the website of the College Board, a not-for-profit organization that connects students to college success and opportunity. Some of the important topics covered at www.collegeboard.org include explaining financial aid, facilitating the application process, and finding colleges that fit. There are other websites that also offer information on financial aid. http://www.fastweb.com. Fastweb has a database of more than 1.5 million private sector scholarships, grants, and loans. http://www.ed.gov. This is the U.S. Department of Education information site for federal aid programs, including student loans and grants. Gain some insight into your money management skills by taking the quiz in Table 17. 5. Study well. The first key to doing well in a subject is to complete your assignments on time. Most instructors base their assignments on what they will be discussing in class on a given day. So, if you read the pages you are assigned for the day they are due, you will better understand the day's lecture. If you don't complete an assignment when it is due, not only will you be at a disadvantage in the class, but you will also have twice as much work to do for the following class. Second, know what material to study. This may sound simple, but all too often students do not ask what material they should study and find out too late that they studied the wrong information. The easiest and most accurate way to learn what will be covered on a test is to ask your instructor or read the syllabus. Tests measure your working memory and knowledge base. To help yourself remember, you can use several memory devices to recall the information you need to study. Here are a few memory devices that have been proven to work. Fun self-test. Are you good at managing money? Rate your level of agreement with the following statements, using the scale below. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree, nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. I eagerly wait for the day I get my paycheck because my bank balance is generally below the minimum. I have set my savings and spending priorities and have a budget. When I go shopping, I don't buy anything unless it is on sale or is required. I can easily spend money when I am in school. I can differentiate between what I want and what I truly need. I always max out my credit cards. I don't need to plan for my child's education because there will be plenty of government programs. I don't plan to open or have a savings account. I was raised in a family where I always felt that money was quite tight. Credit cards have been useful to me during times of emergency. It is easy for me to resist buying on credit. 9. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17. 5. Recite information using your own words. You will learn more when you reinforce your learning in as many ways as possible. You can reinforce your learning through hearing, writing, reading, reviewing, and reciting. Develop acronyms. Acronyms are words or names formed from the first letters or groups of letters in a phrase. Acronyms help you remember because they organize information according to the way you need or want to learn it. For example, COD means cash on delivery and GDP refers to gross domestic product. When you study for a test, be creative and make up your own acronyms. Try mnemonic sentences, rhymes, or jingles. Mnemonic sentences are similar to acronyms. They help you organize your ideas, but instead of creating a word, you make up a sentence. Creating a rhyme, song, or jingle can make the information even easier to remember. The more creative and silly the sentence, the easier it is to remember. Take, for example, the 9 planets listed in order according to their distance from the Sun: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. First letters of these words are M, V, E, M, J, S, U, N. An acronym using these letters would be difficult to remember, but if you create a sentence using the letters in order, you will remember the sequence better. For example, my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. Visualize. Visualization refers to creating or recalling mental pictures related to what you are learning. Have you ever tried to remember something while taking a test and visualized the page the information was on? This is your visual memory at work. Approximately 90% of your memory is stored visually in pictures, so trying to visualize what you want to remember is a powerful study tool. Table 17.6 helps you evaluate your study skills. Become a master at taking tests. Taking a formal test is like playing a game. The object is to get as many points as possible in the time you are allowed. Tests are evaluations of what you know and what you can do with what you know. Here are the rules of the test-taking game. Rule 1. Act as if you will succeed. Thought is powerful. When you think negative thoughts, your stress level rises. Your confidence level may drop, which often leads to feelings of failure. When this happens, think about success. Smile and take deep, slow breaths. Close your eyes and imagine getting the test back with a good grade written at the top. Fun self-test. Do you have good study habits? Answer yes or no to the following questions. Do you usually spend too much time studying for the amount you are learning? Do you spend hours cramming the night before an exam? Do you find it easy to balance your social life with your study schedule? Do you prefer to study with sound, TV, or music around you? Can you sit for long periods and study for several hours without getting distracted? Do you always borrow notes materials from your friends before the exam? Do you review your class notes periodically throughout the semester while preparing for tests? Is it easy for you to recall what you studied at the beginning of the semester? Do you need to change your reading learning style in response to the difficulty level of the course? Do you normally write your papers or prepare for your presentations the night before they are due? Do you feel comfortable contacting the instructor and asking questions or for help whenever you need it? Do you prefer to study lying on a bed or couch rather than sitting at a desk or table? 10. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17. 6. Rule 2. Arrive ahead of time. Being on time or early for a test sets your mind at ease. You will have a better chance of getting your favorite seat, relaxing, and preparing yourself mentally for the game ahead. Rule 3. Bring the essential testing tools. Don't forget to bring the necessary testing tools along with you, including extra pens, sharpened pencils, erasers, a calculator, laptop, dictionary, and other items you may need. Rule 4. Ignore panic pushers. Some people become nervous before a test and hit the panic button, afraid they don't know the material. Panic pushers are people who ask you questions about the material they are about to be tested on. If you know the answers, you will feel confident. However, if you don't, you may panic and lose your confidence. Instead of talking with a panic pusher before a test, spend your time concentrating on what you know, not on what you don't know. Rule 5. Preview the playing field. Hear how to do a preview, listen to instructions, and read directions carefully. Determine the point spread. Look at the total number of questions and the point value of each. Decide how much time you can spend on each question and still finish the test on time. Budget your time. If you budget your time and stick to your time limits, you will always complete the test in the amount of time given. Use the test as an information tool. Be on the lookout for clues that answer other questions. Frequently, instructors will test you on a single topic in more than one way. Rule 6. Write in the margin. Before you begin the test, write key terms, formulas, names, dates, and other information in the margin so you won't forget them. Rule 7. Complete the easy questions first. Answering easy questions first helps build your confidence. If you come across a tough question, mark it so you can come back to it later. Avoid spending so much time on a challenging question that you might run out of time to answer the questions you do know. Rule 8. Know if there is a guessing penalty. Chances are your tests will carry no penalty for guessing. If your time is about to run out and there is no penalty, take a wild guess. On the other hand, if your test carries a penalty for guessing, choose your answers wisely and leave blank the answers you do not know. Rule 9. Avoid changing your answers. Have you ever chosen an answer, changed it, and learned later that your first choice was correct? Research indicates that 3 out of 4 times your first choice is correct. Therefore, you should avoid changing an answer unless you are absolutely sure the answer is wrong. Rule 10. Write clearly and neatly. If you are handwriting your test versus using a computer, imagine your instructor reading your writing. Is it easy to read or difficult? The easier your test is for the instructor to read, the better your chances of getting a higher grade. Here are some websites to help you learn more about taking tests, essay tests, and a checklist for essay tests. http://www.calpoly.edu/edu/ask/al/tests essay. HTML checklist for essay tests. http://www.msu.edu/studschool/essay HTML. General test taking. http://www.calpoly.edu/ask/al/tests general HTML. Post-test analysis. http://www.calpoly.edu/ask/al/tests post. Test analysis HTML. Mark this section of the text with a permanent bookmark because you are going to want to refer back to it many times during the remainder of your college career. Yes, we are going to give you a roadmap to find, keep, and advance in that job that is perfect for you. Think positively. To be successful in life and in a career, you need to be positive. Positive thinking is making a conscious effort to think with an optimistic attitude and to anticipate positive outcomes. Positive behavior means purposely acting with energy and enthusiasm. When you think and behave positively, you guide your mind toward your goals and generate matching mental and physical energy. Positive thinking and behavior are often deciding factors in landing top jobs. Your first job, a promotion, a change of jobs, whatever career step you are targeting, that's because the subconscious is literal. It accepts what you regard as fact. Follow these steps to form the habit of positive thinking and to boost your success. Deliberately motivate yourself every day. Think of yourself as successful and expect positive outcomes for everything you attempt. Project energy and enthusiasm. Employers hire people who project positive energy and enthusiasm. Develop the habit of speaking, moving, and acting with these qualities. Practice this positive expectation mindset until it becomes a habit. Applicants who project enthusiasm and positive behavior generate a positive chemistry that rubs off. Hiring decisions are influenced largely by this positive energy. The habit will help you reach your peak potential. Dwell on past successes. Focusing on past successes to remind yourself of your abilities helps in attaining goals. For example, no one is ever born knowing how to ride a bicycle or how to use a computer software program. Through training, practice, and trial and error, you master new abilities. During the trial and error phases of development, remind yourself of past successes. Look at mistakes as part of the natural learning curve. Continue until you achieve the result you want and remind yourself that you have succeeded in the past and can do so again. You fail only when you quit trying. 11. The photo shows the large, extremely smooth and reflective bean-shaped sculpture. The city skyline reflects in the bean's surface. Exhibit 17. 5. Aligning one's lifestyle interests with one's career trajectory is essential to long-term career satisfaction. If the idea of working in a big city captivates the imagination, it can become a guide to the types of jobs to pursue. If one is motivated to work with people or animals, then charity organizations or zoos might be a good place to look. What jobs do you visualize yourself doing, and how can that vision guide your career search? Credit, Rich Bowen /Flickr /attribution 2 generic CC by 2. 0. Take a good look at yourself. Once you've developed a positive, can-do attitude, the next step is to better understand yourself. Ask yourself 2 basic questions: who am I and what can I do? Who am I? This question is the start of self-assessment, examining your likes and dislikes and basic values. You may want to ask yourself the following questions: do I want to help society? Do I want to help make the world a better place? Do I want to help other people directly? Is it important for me to be seen as part of a big corporation? Or do I prefer to be part of a smaller organization? Do I prefer working indoors or outdoors? Do I like to meet new people, or do I want to work alone? Are you assertive? Assess your assertiveness by taking the quiz in Table 17. 7. What can I do? After determining what your values are, take the second step in career planning by asking, what can I do? This question is the start of skill assessment, evaluating your key abilities and characteristics for dealing successfully with problems, tasks, and interactions with other people. Many skills, for instance, the ability to speak clearly and strongly, are valuable in many occupations. Be sure to consider the work experience you already have, including part-time jobs while going to school, summer jobs, volunteer jobs, and internships. These jobs teach you skills and make you more attractive to potential employers. It's never too early or too late to take a part-time job in your chosen field. For instance, someone with an interest in accounting would do well to try a part-time job with a CPA, certified public accountant firm. Fun self-test: how assertive are you? Rate your level of agreement with the following statements using the scale below. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. I don't easily agree to work for others. There are some people who make jokes about the way I communicate and put me down repeatedly. I speak up without fear of what others will think of me. I rarely have to repeat my thoughts to make people understand. I sound like I am asking a question when I am making a statement. I'm more reluctant to speak up on the job than in other situations. I can always think of something to say when faced with rude remarks. I tend to suffer in silence when unfairly criticized or insulted. I tend to respond aggressively when criticized unfairly. People don't listen when I am speaking. If I say no, I feel guilty. When I have a conflict with someone, the results seem to always go their way. When I speak, people listen. 12. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17. 7. In addition to examining your job-related skills, you should also look at your leisure activities. Some possible questions: am I good at golf? Do I enjoy sailing, tennis, racquetball? In some businesses, transactions are made during leisure hours. In that case, being able to play a skillful or at least adequate game of golf or tennis may be an asset. It's hard to like your job if you don't like the field that you're in. Most career counselors agree that finding work you're passionate about is one of the critical factors behind career success. That's why so many career counselors love all those diagnostic tools that measure your personality traits, skill levels, professional interests, and job potential. The internet is virtually exploding with tests and assessments that you can take. Try, for example, http://www.self-directed-search.com. This test is based on the theory that people and work environments can be classified into 6 basic types. Realistic, investigative, artistic, social, and or use the internet to find a job. Today, most job searches are done online. Rarely do job seekers use snail mail to send a resume to a potential employer. Therefore, you need to do your homework when it comes to creating a resume and posting it to various websites, as well as sending it electronically to a specific company's careers webpage. Let's start with the resume. There are thousands of job-related sites and millions of resumes on the internet. To break through the clutter, you must start with a great resume, a written description of your education, work experience, personal data, and interests. There are plenty of online resources that can provide you with tips and actual templates to use when creating your resume. For example, CollegeGrad, https collegegrad.com provides more than 100 preformatted templates for over 30 college majors on its website that you can use to tailor your resume and highlight your specific skills and talents. 15. Of course, there are many other sources for creating a resume, including the actual websites of most online job listing services. Once you have created an electronic resume, you have several options when it comes to your job search. First, you can target specific companies where you would like to work. Then go to their corporate websites and look for a careers page on the website. For example, Google has an extensive careers section on its website that provides detailed information on how to apply to become a Googler, along with a section on what the company's interview process entails and how Google makes hiring decisions. 16. You can also try posting your resume on the top 10 most popular job websites. They are so large that they are worth checking out first. They tend to have more jobs listed, represent more companies, and have larger resume databases, which attract even more companies. 17. Indeed, https://www.indeed.com. Monster, https://www.monster.com. Glassdoor, https://www.glassdoor.com. Career Builder, https://www.careerbuilder.com. Simply Hired, https://www.simplyhired.com. Job Diagnosis, https://www.jobdiagnosis.com. Next, https://www.next.com. ZipRecruiter, https://www.ziprecruiter.com. USA Jobs, https://www.usajobs.gov. The Multimedia Resume. If you are going to become a computer programmer, web developer, graphics designer, artist, sculptor, singer, dancer, actor, model, animator, cartoonist, or anyone who would benefit by the photographs, graphics, animation, sound, color, or movement inherent in a multimedia resume, then this resume is for you. For most people, however, a multimedia resume and personal home page on the internet aren't necessary. Most internet service providers and commercial online services provide some space on their sites for subscriber home pages. 18. Getting your electronic resume into the short pile. Applicant tracking systems, ATSs, screen for keywords which either reject your resume or move it on to the short list. Your task is to use keywords that will produce as many hits as possible. Keywords tend to be more of the noun or noun phrase type, total quality management, Walmart, sales manager, as opposed to power action verbs often found in traditional resumes, developed, coordinated, organized. Every occupation and career field has its own jargon, acronyms, and buzzwords. There are also general keywords that apply to transferable skills important in many jobs, such as teamwork, writing, and planning. Use these tips for adding effective keywords to your resume. The best source of keywords is the actual job listing, which is likely to contain many, if not all, of the keywords that an employer will use to search the resume database. Include plenty of keyword nouns and noun phrases throughout your resume. If you have a summary of qualifications section at the beginning of your resume, try not to repeat verbatim the contents of this section. If you are applying for technical positions, you can list your skills, separating each noun or phrase by a comma. In some fields, a simple list of skills does not sufficiently describe the job seeker's background. Where appropriate, include accomplishments as well, but be sure to include enough keywords to satisfy the ATS searches. 19. There are several ways to determine what keywords are appropriate for your industry and job. Look through recent job postings online. Certain words will reappear consistently. Those are your key words. Make sure your resume contains the keywords and concepts used in the particular job listing you are applying to. Talk to people in the career field you are targeting and ask them what keywords are appropriate to the positions you are applying to. Research specific company websites that appeal to you in terms of getting a job with that specific organization and review the About Us section. Try to use some of the keywords the company uses to describe its corporate environment as part of your resume descriptions. 20. Visit professional association websites and read the content carefully. Many of these are loaded with industry-related jargon that may be appropriate for your resume. If you are still in college, try to get at least one internship in the career field you're targeting. Even if your internship lasts only a few weeks, you will significantly increase your keyword count to build a resume, not to mention gain valuable experience that will get the attention of hiring professionals. 21. I've landed a job interview. If some of the companies you contacted want to speak with you, your resume achieved its goal of getting you a job interview. Look at the interview as a chance to describe your knowledge and skills and interpret them in terms of the employer's specific needs. To make this kind of presentation, you need to do some research on the company. A great place to start is the company's own corporate website. As you do your information search, you should build your knowledge in these three areas: general information about the occupational field. Learn about the current and predicted industry trends, general educational requirements, job descriptions, growth outlook, and salary ranges in the industry. Information about prospective employers. Learn whether the organization is publicly or privately owned. Verify company names, addresses, products, or services current and predicted, as well as trends, history, culture, reputation, performance, divisions, and subsidiaries. Locations, U.S. and global, predicted growth indicators, number of employees, company philosophies and procedures, predicted job openings, salary ranges, and listings of managers of your targeted department within the organization. Also learn about the competitors and customers. Information about specific jobs. Obtain job descriptions, identify the required education and experience, and determine prevalent working conditions, salary, and fringe benefits. Interview like a pro. An interview tends to have three parts: ice-breaking, about 5 minutes, in which the interviewer tries to put the applicant at ease, questioning directly or indirectly by the interviewer, and questioning by the applicant. Almost every recruiter you meet will be trying to rate you in 5 to 10 areas. The questions will be designed to assess your skills and personality. Many firms start with a screening interview, a rather short interview, about 30 minutes, to decide whether to invite you back for a second interview. Sometimes screening interviews can take place online via Skype, FaceTime, or some other form of video conferencing. Only about 20% of job applicants are invited back. The second interview is usually a half-day or a day of meetings set up by the Human Resource Department with managers in different departments. After the meetings, someone from the Human Resource Department will discuss other application materials with you and tell you when a letter of acceptance or rejection is likely to be sent. The wait may be weeks or even months. Many applicants send follow-up letters in the meantime to show they are still interested in the firm. For the interview, you should dress conservatively. Plan to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time. Try to relax. Smile and make eye contact with, but do not stare at, the interviewer. Body language is an important communicator. The placement of your hands and feet and your overall posture say a good deal about you. Here are some other tips for interviewing like a pro. Concentrate on being likable. As simplistic as it seems, research proves that one of the most essential goals in successful interviewing is to be liked by the interviewer. Interviewers want to hire pleasant people others will like working with on a daily basis. Pay attention to the following areas to project that you are highly likable. Be friendly, courteous, and enthusiastic. Speak positively. Smile. Use positive body language. Make certain your appearance is appropriate. Make eye contact when you speak. Project an air of confidence and pride. Act as though you want and deserve the job, not as though you are desperate. Demonstrate enthusiasm. The applicant's level of enthusiasm often influences employers as much as any other interviewing factor. The applicant who demonstrates little enthusiasm for a job will never be selected for the position. Demonstrate knowledge of and interest in the employer. "I really want this job" is not convincing enough. Explain why you want the position and how the position fits your career plans. You can cite opportunities that may be unique to a firm or emphasize your skills and education that are highly relevant to the position. State your name and the position you're seeking. When you enter the interviewer's office, begin with a friendly greeting and state the position you're interviewing for. Hello, Ms. Levine, I'm Bella Reina. I'm here to interview for the accounting position. If someone has already introduced you to the interviewer, simply say, "Good morning, Ms. Levine." Identifying the position is important because interviewers often interview for many different positions. Focus on how you fit the job. Near the beginning of your interview, as soon as it seems appropriate, ask a question similar to this. Could you describe the scope of the job and tell me what capabilities are most important in filling the position? The interviewer's response will help you focus on emphasizing your qualifications that best match the needs of the employer. Speak correctly. Grammatical errors can cost applicants the job. Use correct grammar, word choice, and a business-like vocabulary, not an informal, chatty one. Avoid slang. When under stress, people often use pet phrases such as too often. This is highly annoying and projects immaturity and insecurity. Don't use just or only. I just worked as a waiter. Don't say I guess. Avoid the word probably because it suggests unnecessary doubt. Ask a friend or family member to help you identify any speech weaknesses you have. Begin eliminating these speech habits now. Also, you should avoid the following disqualifiers at all costs. Any one of these blunders could cost you your dream job. Don't sit down until the interviewer invites you to. Waiting is courteous. Don't bring anyone else to the interview. It makes you look immature and insecure. Don't smoke or bring a beverage with you. Don't put anything on or read anything on the interviewer's desk. It's considered an invasion of personal space. Don't chew gum or have anything else in your mouth. This projects immaturity. If you are invited to a business meal, don't order alcohol. When ordering, choose food that's easy to eat while carrying on a conversation. Don't offer a limp handshake. It projects weakness. Use a firm handshake. 22. Select the right job for you. Hard work and a little luck may pay off with multiple job offers. Your happy dilemma is deciding which one is best for you. Start by considering the facts. Fit. Do the job and the employer fit your skills, interests, and lifestyle? Advancement and growth. Will you have the chance to develop your talents and move up within the organization? Compensation. Is the employer offering a competitive salary and benefits package? Training. Will the employer provide you with the tools needed to be successful on the job? Site. Is the job location a good match for your lifestyle and your budget? A great way to evaluate a new location is through HomeFair, http://www.homefair.com. This site offers tools to help you calculate the cost of moving, the cost of living, and the quality of life in various places. The moving calculator helps you figure out how much it will cost to ship your worldly possessions to a particular city. The Relocation Crime Lab compares crime rates in various locations. The City Snapshots feature compares demographic, economic, and climate information for 2 cities of your choosing. The Salary Calculator computes cost of living differences between hundreds of U.S. and international cities and tells you how much you'd need to make in your new city to maintain your current standard of living. Start your new job. No time is more crucial and possibly nerve-wracking than the first few months at a new job. During this breaking-in period, the employer decides whether a new employee is valuable enough to keep and, if so, in what capacity. Sometimes the employee's whole future with the company rides on the efforts of the first few weeks or months. Most firms offer some sort of formal orientation, but generally speaking, they expect employees to learn quickly and often on their own. You will be expected to become familiar with the firm's goals, its organization, including your place in the company, and basic personnel policies such as coffee breaks, overtime, and parking. Here are a few tips on making your first job rewarding and productive. Listen and learn. When you first walk into your new job, let your eyes and ears take everything in. Do people refer to one another by first names, or is the company more formal? How do people dress? Do the people you work with drop into one another's open offices for informal chats about business matters? Or have you entered a memo mill, where anything of substance is put on email and talks with other employees are scheduled through their administrative assistants? Size up where the power lies. Who seems to most often assume a leadership role? Who is the person others turn to for advice? Why has that person achieved that position? What traits have made this person a political leader? Don't be misled by what others say, but also don't dismiss their evaluations. Make your own judgments based on what you see and hear. Effective listening skills help you learn your new job responsibilities quickly. Take the quiz in Table 17:8 to see if you are a good listener. Do unto others, be nice. Nice people are usually the last to be fired and among the first to be promoted. Don't be pleasant only with those who can help you in the company. Be nice to everyone. You never know who can help you or give you information that will turn out to be useful. Genuinely nice people make routine job assignments, and especially pressure-filled ones, more pleasant. And people who are dealt with pleasantly usually respond in kind. Don't start out as a maverick. If every new employee tried to change tried-and-true methods to suit his or her whims, the firm would quickly be in chaos. Individual needs must take a back seat to established procedures. Devote yourself to getting things done within the system. Every manager realizes that it takes time for a new person to adjust. But the faster you start accomplishing things, the faster the boss will decide that you were the right person to hire. Find a great mentor. The leading cause of career unhappiness is working for a bad boss. Good jobs can easily be ruined by supervisors who hold you back. In contrast, your career will soar and you will smile every day when you have a great mentor helping you along the way. If you find a job with a super mentor, jump at the chance to take it. Fun self-test. Are you a good listener? Rate your level of agreement with the statements below using the following scale. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree, nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. A person who takes time to ask for clarification about something that might be unclear is not a good listener. While listening, I am distracted by the sounds around me. I try to not only understand what is being said, but also analyze the strength of any ideas that are being presented. I ask questions, make observations, or give opinion when necessary for clarifications. While I am listening, I avoid eye contact but am polite. I am tempted to judge a person whether or not he or she is a good speaker. I feel more comfortable when someone talks to me about a topic that I find interesting. I always jot down key phrases, points that strike me as important points of concern that require a response. My listening style varies from the speaker's style of communication. A good listener requires a good speaker. 23. See the scoring guidelines at the end of this chapter to obtain your score. Table 17:8. Moving up. Once you have been on the job for a while, you will want to get ahead and be promoted. Table 17:9 offers several suggestions for improving your chances of promotion. The first item might seem a bit strange, yet it's there for a practical reason. If you don't really like what you do, you won't be committed enough to compete with those who do. The passionate people are the ones who go the extra mile, do the extra work, and come up with fresh, out-of-the-box ideas. So there you have it. Remember, it's never too early to begin planning your career. The future is now. How to move up. Love what you do, which entails first figuring out who you are. Never stop learning about new technologies and new skills that will help you build a successful career. Try to get international experience even if it is only a short stint overseas. Create new business opportunities. They could lead to a promotion. Be really terrific at what you're doing now, this week, this month. Table 17:9. After you answer the questions in each of the fun self-tests that appear in this chapter, determine your score and evaluate your skills using the following scoring guidelines. Table 1 Fun Self-Test. Can you persuade others? For questions 1, 2, 4, 8, 10, and 11, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree, nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 5 points, 4.0 points, 0.0 points. For questions 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree, nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 0.0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 5 points. If your score is between 40 and 55, you have an excellent ability to persuade others. A score between 30 and 39 means you have reasonably good persuasion skills. However, you may need to improve your listening and communicating skills. A score below 30 means that you should consider reading a book or taking a short course on how to persuade others. Table 2 Fun Self-Test. Are you good at office politics? For questions 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 10, 12, and 13, give yourself 1 point if you said true. For questions 2, 5, 6, 9, and 11, give yourself 1 point if you said false. If your score is 9 or below, you may be good at managing your work, but you need to improve your political skills. Being political means getting along with others in order to move them toward accomplishing a specific goal. If your score is low, consider reviewing the tips offered in the chapter on how to be an effective political player. Table 4 Fun Self-Test. How well do you manage your time? For questions 2, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, and 15, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 5 points. For questions 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, and 12, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. 5 points, 4 points, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. If your score is 60 or higher, you have excellent time management skills. Congratulations, you use your time well. If your score is below 60, consider reading a book on time management, taking a course on time management, or investing in time management tools such as a weekly project planner. The chapter has additional tips that may be useful in improving your time management skills. Table 5 Fun Self-Test. Are you good at managing money? For questions 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, and 11, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 5 points. For questions 1, 4, 7, 8, and 9, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. 5 points, 4 points, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. If your score is 44 or higher, you are able to manage money while balancing your expenses and income. You will be ready to handle financial emergencies without turning to friends or relatives. If your score is between 36 and 43, your savings habits may be inconsistent. To achieve better savings, control your expenses and avoid unnecessary purchases. If your score is 35 or below, you spend too much. Remember, it's a lot more painful to earn money than to spend it. You need to gain control of your finances by limiting your spending, paying off credit cards, or investing in a good personal finance book or course. You may also need to meet with a financial advisor to seek direction on your spending and saving habits. Table 6 Fun Self-Test. Do you have good study habits? If you answered yes to questions 3, 5, 7, 8, and 11, give yourself 1 point for each answer. If you answered no to questions 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, and 12, give yourself 1 point for each answer. If your score is 10 or above, congratulations, you have good study habits. If your score is below 10, read the tips offered in the chapter on improving your study skills. You may also meet with someone at your school to help maximize your study time. Table 7 Fun Self-Test. How assertive are you? For questions 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, and 13, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 5 points, 4 points, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. For questions 2, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 5 points. If your score is 44 or higher, you stand up for your rights while showing respect for others. You quickly respond to unfair criticism. You should be able to fare well in office politics. If your score is 43 or lower, you may want to consider ways to become more comfortable communicating your ideas and opinions and managing your relationships with others. Table 8 Fun Self-Test. Are you a good listener? For questions 3, 4, 8, and 9, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 5 points, 4 points, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. For questions 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 10, use the following to calculate your score. Strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 5 points. Listening is an important communication skill that will help you succeed in your career. By becoming an effective listener, you gain respect from your colleagues, pick up insights and ideas on improving your job performance, and develop a skill that is important in managing others. If you have a score of 32 or above, then you are a good listener. If your score falls below 32, you need to improve your listening skills. Search the internet for articles and ideas on becoming a better listener and begin practicing your new skills with your friends and coworkers.